welcome to the show today. My name is Gerry Marotti, and to my right is my partner, Greg Marangel, and together we are the Wax Hunters. Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing good today. We sure are. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about today, and hope we can give some of our collectors some insight today. Yeah. That's what we're planning on doing today. And as you see the boxes in front, we're going to key on some of these boxes here and tell you what you can and maybe cannot do.
Yep, we got a lot of good stuff today. You know, this is focused on some of the boxes and prospects that we think are good up and coming people and players to target.
Yes.
And also some of the boxes that we've purchased that we're really excited about.
That's correct.
We've seen some good value from, some good.
We've already increased on one of them,
and not even a month.
Right. That was the this box right here was purchased at around $325, I believe, or $275. $275, and box. What's it now?
About $600.
About $600.
Yep.
So there's what we were talking about. We've been talking about to Wax Nation about how you can put a very small investment and turn it into a nice return. That is some of the things that we want to key on. Getting off to a quick start before we get into this, here's a box here. It's Bowman Draft Picks and Prospects Baseball. This is a Bryce Harper box. Now, this was bought about 6-8 months ago at around $99, $100, okay? So today, the box is still $100. Now, that's good news because it didn't drop in value. It held steady. So these are ones that we may say were just a investment that we didn't know where it was going to go. Bryce Harper is obviously having a mezz year, I guess.
Yeah, not bad, but he had just signed at the time one of the largest contracts in baseball history.
That's correct, and that's probably why
that's relevant to some of the things that are going on these days.
Correct. But there you go. Just goes to show you the retention value in most of these boxes. So here it paid $99 6-8 months ago. It's still $99. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and also you can potentially, that's still not a bad box to buy for $100.
No.
For $100.
Well, that's the key.
You can get in. He's the type of player that can get hot. He can win some MVPs. He could potentially get a few World Series with Philadelphia. And now that box is going to jump up. And you're only into it for $100. And if it doesn't go up, I mean, you're not out of a lot of money. It's $100.
No, and that's the key. You know, you're not out a lot of money. You're into it for $100. But, you know, he would have to absolutely fall flat on his face for this box to go to zero, you know, like to a $10 or $12 box. I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening.
There's only potential upside. So if you're out there and you want to buy a box, that's a good starter box to get in at. Still $100. It's a good box. Yeah. The basketball boxes here and here. These are a different story. The Immaculate Collection 2015 and the National Treasures, they're high-end boxes. They have a lot of autographs in there. Very expensive cards. Jokic, one of the rookies, and Luka Doncic, another one of the rookies in these boxes in National Treasures and Immaculate. They're on the up and coming.
Yep.
And because they are, they're going to escalate the box price, and they already have.
Yeah.
The hotter they are, the more they do, the more the demand, the more, and these are in short supply.
Yep.
These are not mass produced boxes. You very rarely see them drop low.
Right.
So that's another thing. Now, getting on to football, Lamar Jackson. We all know the year he's having. That's why this box went up. It's over almost doubled. It's going to continue to go. The more he plays the way he's playing, the hotter his cards are going to get, the more his boxes are going to go.
He's probably going to get the MVP this year.
Okay.
And this box is going to jump up even more. The reason why we like this box initially, to the point that you're making, there's not as many of the Prism boxes out there as there are of other boxes.
Correct.
So when there's less cards, the cards are more valuable.
Correct.
And this one just happens to have one of his most valuable rookie cards. So when we were able to buy it for $275, that was a great price. We thought. Even at $600, I still think it's a great price because he's going to pick. Like I said, he's going to be an MVP. That box is going to go up even more
I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, it like that's the thing. So you purchased a box the end of last NBA season for Luka Doncic.
Yep.
And it's jumped up quite a bit since then.
I took a chance.
Yeah, but the nice thing is, like, if you're gonna invest in some of these younger rookies, while they're having a hot season, buy it in season while they're doing really well, because the boxes are just gonna keep jumping.
Right.
So if you feel good about a player, take a chance on them.
And that's it. You don't have to know. Box. Yeah, right. You don't have to know a lot about the sport. I mean, if you hear this rookie's doing good, you could just follow him and see what he's doing, and that's going to propel the box price. What I will say right now is jumping over to 2000 Brady, the Fleer Showcase had actually came down a little bit. Came down about $150, almost $200 on the box. The box is $1,000. Myself and Greg believe this is still a great value. The good news is you're able to get into it for $1,000. That's the good news.
If you're looking for a high-end premium box to jump into, that's a great one to go for. The Brady card in that box is $11,000.
Yeah, so that's
you're not gonna find a lot of boxes that you can get into for under $1,000 that give you that potential return on investment of a card.
And as I've told you many a times, and people might say, well, how do I buy a box? How do I buy this box to that? All the same year. What makes one box better than the other? Okay. Rule of thumb you could use, which I use, is look at the price of the card in relative to the price of the box. So, for example, and don't base it on a 10. Right. Look at a 9. Mm-hmm. If you look at a 9 and the Brady card is $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000, maybe I can get that card up real quick here for a second.
The Fleer Showcase card?
Yeah. Let me just see if I can pull it up on
but to Jerry's point, you don't want to buy a box where if the card in a 9 is less than the value of the box, because then you're
not getting anything.
You're setting yourself up to not get your money back.
Correct.
An example that we talk about a lot that we think is an overvalued box and pack is the 86 Fleer basketball.
Oh god.
The Michael Jordan card, like, for what those packs are going for, $1,500. Realistically, unless you're getting a Jordan card, you're not getting your money back in the value of the pack.
Well, the Jordan is in the 86. I mean, I think you may be confused. It's the 87 is the one that's really going to not bring your value back.
Right.
The 86 in Gem Mint is bringing high value. But you're laying out a lot of money for that box.
In terms of overall value, like if you're dropping $1,500 on a pack or, $25,000 on a box of 86 Fleer, it's going to be really hard to, recoup your investment. Versus these guys where it's a less entry point, but you can still get a really valuable card. Okay,
so the Tom Brady in a 9 in this box is $2,250, and in an 8, it's $1,000. So right now, this box is $1,000. That triggers the red flag for me to say it's a good buy, because at an 8, you're getting $1,000 card.
Yeah.
The box is $1,000. Yeah. So that's how you base your purchasing on the box. Look at the values of the cards, and then look at the box value. And if you see that main card or many cards can cover the value of your box, jump on it, because these are not going down. These are only going up, what you see here. And it's only a matter of time before, unfortunately, they will become out of reach.
Yeah. Well,
just like the 86 Fleer basketball.
Yeah, and soon to be the 87 and all the others. It'd just be. I was watching an interview the other day, and they were talking about, basically the 70s baseball cards.
Yep.
That a few years ago, you could get 70s baseball for, next to nothing.
Yes.
But now people have consumed them so much that, those are really out of reach for a lot of collectors. But the early to mid 80s now, it's becoming the hot boxes to buy because they're still affordable. But in 10, 15 years, those are going to be out of reach for some people too.
Well, I think you had mentioned the National Treasures box started around $600.
These typically start around $600.
So brand new, $600. Yeah. Now I see the 2018-19 football, the one with Lamar Jackson. Yeah. There's not even a price guide on it yet,
right?
And they're getting $1,800 up to $3,000 for a box. So there's no guide. So they're all over the place.
National Treasures is a great box to buy into if you have some money and you really like a rookie in a class. Because one, their cards are really nice, but you're guaranteed hit cards in every single box. So even though it's a decent sized box, there's only one pack in here.
Yeah, big box for one
You
pack.
get 8 cards, you get 2 base cards.
Yep.
I think two basically like jersey cards or game worn relic cards, and then you get a whole bunch of autographs. So you get really good cards in there. So if you're trying to hunt down an autograph rookie card, chances are you're gonna find it. You'll get one in a National Treasures box. It just depends on who you're gonna get. But they typically reserve the higher end players into these boxes because of the entry point.
Yeah. Now this one has 150 card set, 100 base, and 50 rookie patch autographs.
Yep.
So you have a good chance of getting a rookie patch autograph in those boxes.
Yeah, and if you get the Luka Doncic out of that box, he's the guy right now.
That's right.
He
He's
just
the
dropped
guy.
40 points last night. He's probably gonna be the MVP this season.
See, those are the things that are really propelling these boxes. They spit out of control here. So if you have some money and you want to invest, go after those boxes because they're red hot, and they're only going to get hotter.
Right now, Lamar Jackson, Luka Doncic, those are big.
Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic. Those are big guys to go after because it's still relatively cheap enough where you can get in, and they have a long runway of potential growth. So I mean, those are good ones to kind of focus on for current players.
Also, which is not on camera here, the 93 Upper Deck Series 2.
That's the guy.
With Jeter.
Yeah.
Those boxes are going for around $70.
Not $50. You can get into the 93 Upper Deck Series 2 for $50.
$50. Okay, so $50. I mean, I saw them a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it depends who's buying it. You see them anywhere between 50 and 70.
Well, you have to kind of do your homework.
Yeah.
You can find them.
They're out there. They're out there. But I noticed they're getting tighter and tighter.
Mm-hmm.
So because Jeter is going to be red hot. Going into the Hall of Fame, correct?
He will. Well, he's not elected yet.
Not yet, but going in, like as I said, going into the Hall of Fame.
They're going to be voting on that soon. He'll be a Hall of Famer this year.
And once he is, guess what happens to those boxes?
That box is going to jump. Any 93 baseball with Jeter is going to be super, super high. It's already climbing, but it's going to get even higher once he gets elected.
And I think it's not moving as fast as it should because of people are just saying, what happens if he don't get in? Right. If he don't get in, the box is going to stagnate until he does. But once he's in,
I will make a guarantee that Derek Jeter will 100% get in first ballot.
Well, and again, that's great. It's good for us. It's good for everybody. It's good for the industry.
We opened up the pack last week.
That's right.
Jeter pack.
That's right.
$75,000 Jeter card.
And we came up with
nothing.
Nothing.
And you know what you should do?
Keep them sealed.
Keep it sealed. Don't open that pack.
Don't open those packs. Keep them sealed. Wax Nation. Make it Wax Nation. Keep it sealed.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there that are opening the packs and are from 1950s all the way up to the 2000s. And myself and Greg say, keep opening them because rip them open, rip them everything open, open it all. That's right. Yeah. We don't care. We want more and more packs ripped open because that automatically takes the supply chain down.
Yep.
We will not rip them open, some of our main stuff, and guess what? The value will increase, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
These 4 boxes here will never be ripped open by us.
No, absolutely not. That is 100% guaranteed.
Yeah.
They will never be ripped open.
I may open up like an 82 Topps baseball and try to get a Cal Ripken card.
You know what? That's just having fun.
Maybe just because
that's just having fun.
I have a lot of loose packs of that, but
this is business.
A sealed box, we're not touching those.
Right. This is business.
Yeah, every once in a while, as a treat to the Wax Nation, we'll open up a pack, but
correct.
Yeah, the hot ones that we think are really rising for the most part, we're gonna keep sealed.
And like I said, these are the business cards. These are the ones that are the bread and butter. Now, people might say out there, well, you talk about an $11,000 card, you talk about a $50,000 card, and you got a box there. Why don't you open it? You could change your life. You could win. You could hit it like hitting a lottery. You're hitting a $50,000 card, and you got it made. Well, you're right. You do have it made. But here's the problem, as it is in anything. We don't know if it's in there.
There's no guarantee.
So there is no guarantee that it's in there. We don't know. We could end up opening it up and coming up dry. And then we just flung $50,000 $1,500 out the window.
What we do know is the value of this box sealed is valuable.
Is valuable.
What we also know is that if you open up this box and that card that you're looking for isn't in it, you have a stack of cards now
that are not valuable.
That are basically just really nice looking cardboard.
Correct, not valuable.
And there's still cards in the boxes that people will buy, but chances are you're not gonna
get your money back.
You're not gonna get your money back or have the same type of investment that you would with this. And what we're basically trying to do is be smart about it. We talked about it in the very first episode we did, that we treat this like the stock market. We're investing into these products. And if you look at like these newer boxes, these are like the newer IPO stocks that come out, like the hotter cutting edge ones.
Good way to put it.
That are rising up.
Good way to put it.
So you want to just kind of buy those and hold on to it and hope for a good investment, and then you can back it up with some of those blue chip reliable stocks, like a 1970 something pack of baseball. That's going to keep its value and go up, but steady. And this has a chance to really rise.
It's actually gotten crazy what they're doing with packs on eBay.
Yeah.
If you go and look, type in anywhere from 60s to 70s.
60s, forget it.
Yeah, packs are just triple, quadruple.
The book value.
Book value. Now, I'm not saying it's worth that. And I'm not saying that run out and go get that. And you're going to make money on it. But you got to be smart about it, If you buy a pack in those years, and I would give an allowance of 200 to 300 above book would be safe.
It depends on the pack.
And depends on the pack, that's right.
Or the box.
But, if you buy it under book or book value in the 60s or 70s, now you're getting a deal.
You're winning all day long.
You're winning all day long.
And that's where the hunting comes in. That's correct. That's why we're wax hunting.
Hunters, right.
That's
Hunters.
Right. We are going we're searching for those good buys,
Correct.
And that's not to say that we're not going to overpay for something if we think that it's worth it and it's really hard to pick up.
Well, it's a long hold.
Right.
We would have a long hold. Now, the other end of this, and a lot of people might not know this out there, you could actually take this box, open it, get the packs graded, and sell them per pack. Give you an example. I have a 1966 box of Fleer, Three Stooges. It's a rare box, and the box is valuable. But somebody has one up on there. Now, again, it's not wrapped by the Baseball Card Exchange. Incidentally, Steve Hart does a lot of wrapping all across the country, Baseball Card Exchange. He does a fabulous job.
Yep.
So, you want to get something that is certified by him.
Yeah.
And then they weren't searched, they're sealed, and it's a clean box. So that box is $2,000 on eBay right now, and nobody's bidding it. But the pack got graded by another auctioner, and he's already up to $150 a pack.
Yeah.
So, maybe people don't have the 2,000. Well, that's the bidding starts at 2,000.
Right.
It's not 2,000. It starts at 2,000. But again, it's not wrapped. Now, mine is wrapped by the Baseball Card Exchange. And incidentally, Wax Nation, hold on to your seats. Next Saturday.
Oh, you're throwing it out there.
Throwing it out now.
Out there early. All right.
You want to do it or you want me to do it?
By all means.
Okay, well.
This is the biggest announcement on the Wax Hunters podcast yet, I think.
Yeah, so
big news.
Here it is.
Breaking news
right now. If all goes well, which we think it will, Saturday we will have a special guest that will be phoning in to our show, and it's none other than Steve Hart, the owner of Baseball Card Exchange, and we are very excited, looking forward to talking to him about A to Z.
Listen, you're talking about wax hunting. He
is
the guy that you want to talk to. To Jerry's point, when you're buying a box, especially an older box,
correct,
like you want to authenticate it, he's the guy that authenticates it. He is the expert that PSA goes to. They trust his guidance. If you look at any auction house or auction site, when there's
he's all over. His wrappings are all over.
He is the source for certified, verified wax boxes.
And let me tell you out there, if you have a chance to send it in to him, by all means, do it. Look it up, the Baseball Card Exchange. I believe they're in Indiana. Send your boxes to them. He's very reasonable. He does not charge a lot of money. He's doing more for the industry than anyone, I believe. and he's straight up honest, and he gives you a good, clean shake on what your boxes are. So we are very excited to have him on next week. It's huge for us. We want him on next week, and we want to talk to him about the wax boxes and what he's done over the years. I'm sure he has some very interesting stories.
He's got a lot of insight. He also has a lot of great products that he has on his website.
Correct.
He's got a brick of 1952 Topps baseball cards. Mm-hmm. He's got 8 of them in a brick that I think are currently being sold for about $500,000.
The baseball packs.
The baseball packs. Yeah. He's got 8 of them, which is kind of crazy.
That is unheard of, let alone find one, but you find 8.
That's a nice place to also check out if you're looking to start your collection with some older wax. He sells it on there. And,
yes, he does.
And his prices are pretty reasonable.
Yes,
for the
they
most
are.
Part.
Yes,
it's a good place to kind of gauge some.
Well, the key is you want
boxes.
The key is you want certified, genuine stuff. You don't want to end up buying a box on eBay. Yeah. And I've had the arguments where they say,
how many packs have you looked at recently where it's not a certified or sealed pack?
No.
And and
there's no guarantee.
You can talk a little bit about like what some of the correspondences that you've had with some people, or some of the things that you've read in the descriptions that have really kind of clued you in to say, oh, this doesn't sound right.
One thing I will say to Wax Nation, please read the whole description when you're purchasing a pack or a box. Yeah. I just made a blunder today. Luckily, somebody bid over me, but I was chasing a 66 Flair basketball pack, ungraded. Pack was beautiful. Really gem, man. Yeah. And I'm at high bidder, I think at 350, 370, whatever. And I'm high bidder, like a couple hours left, and I look down and it says, this is the picture of the pack you're getting, but the gum is broken, so it probably won't pass PSA. That's the red flag right there. When they're saying it probably won't pass, it won't. Yep. So now you're bidding on $300 worth of commons.
You're basically bidding on really old cardboard.
That's right, junk. Yep. So please always make sure and ask in an email to the prospective seller that you're buying it from, will it pass PSA? Yep. And let them answer that, because if it doesn't, you can get a refund and get your money back. So it's so important today with the forgeries and especially in autographs and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. You don't want to take that chance.
To your point, so there's a couple things I've noticed in listings. One was the 86. I was looking at 86 Flair basketball, and there was someone that was selling it for $250 a pack, which is way criminally low below the value of what they're going for right now. So I reached out to him saying, hey, will this pass PSA? It looks like it's coming from a box that you own. And his response was, I'm selling these with the assumption that they're already search packs. Basically saying, yeah, they're search packs, but I'm asking for $250 anyways.
Which is robbing people.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is, because their expectation is people aren't paying attention, they're not reading, and they're just going to buy this stuff, and they don't know what to look for. So as far as they're concerned, someone's saying it's authentic or genuine, they're thinking it's authentic and genuine when it's not.
Well, that doesn't beat with the answer I got the other day.
It sure doesn't.
I wrote to this gentleman, I was interested in the pack. I said, will it pass PSA? Simple question. His response to me was, well, if you want something passed by PSA, then buy it already slabbed. Yeah. Hello? Yeah. I mean, why are you putting your pack up online? Is that to rob people? Is it to deceive people?
Yeah, people do that.
They'll
buy the wrappers and they'll reseal it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
The other thing to keep in mind, too, to watch out for with boxes, you make sure you're reading, because there's a lot of people just selling empty boxes that, they're not, like, they may have, like, somewhere, like, written in the description, empty box, but it won't say it in the title. And it's just closed, so it just looks like it's a full box, and their asking price is pretty much the same as the asking price for a regular box. So you're like, oh, it might be like $50 or $100 less, but if it's $1,000 box that they're asking $800 for, like, oh, that's a good price. Buy.
Is that a dig to me?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Did that happen to you?
Well, the box did happen, but I bought a wrapper, and I thought it was a pack. Yeah. And it was 72 choppers.
Yeah, no, definitely not you.
Okay.
This was
72 choppers.
This was a Star Wars thing.
Okay, 72 choppers, and I said, geez, I got the pack for a good deal, $10. But nowhere in the heading did it say just a wrapper. It just mentioned what it was.
Yep.
I think it said empty somewhere in there, or maybe empty in my head, but empty in there. But you can be easily deceived, but you're getting deceived by deceitful people.
That's right.
They're trying to deceive you purposely.
That's right.
Otherwise, you could just make the heading very clear. This is a wrapper.
Yeah.
I will tell you another story that I had, which was a very valuable story, which I got refunded, thank God. Knock on wood. I had bought a Larry Bird, Julius Erving, Magic Johnson rookie card, signed by all three. The card was gorgeous. Gorgeous. In my opinion, the card was a 10. I had purchased it for $900. And nowhere in the heading, nowhere, okay, did it say, well, first let me say this. The heading said those three guys, and it said RC, rookie card, okay? Well, that's what the saying is supposed to be. But in the auction house's deceitfulness, it was reprint card.
So you gotta watch out for RP.
So no, but this was RC, reprint card. RC.
Man.
So when I blew up the card to look at it on my computer, the slabbed by PSA said reprint card.
Yeah.
And I just flipped out. $900. They gave me a hard time. But I told them, look, social media is a wonderful thing. I will plaster it all over social media. But they did refund me, and I am not mentioning who they are.
Yeah.
But they did refund me the $900. Now, that's an expensive, deceitful item.
That better be a pristine card if you're paying $900.
Okay. But it was very sharp, but it was not a real card. So the best that card was worth probably $200-$300 for the autographs on a card. But it was a reprint card. That's one thing you don't want, unless you want to fool your friends. Do not buy a reprint card.
Yeah.
They are worthless. They'll never be worth anything.
Yeah.
You'll see people say, "Oh, short print reprint card."
Right. There's a lot.
Give
of
me
reprints.
a break.
Yeah, it's a lot of reprints.
Worthless.
Even with the autograph rookie cards, some of them they'll be RP, which stands for the reprint for the auto. You gotta look out for those too, because I almost got suckered into that the other day. I was just looking at some new up and coming rookies, but they're already reprinting the autos or using facsimiles.
I was just gonna say facsimiles. You can't tell.
You can't. It's identical.
But they make you dig.
Yeah.
They make you dig to find it. In the initial heading, you don't see it,
Yeah.
but you have to dig to find it, and it's not right. It's not right for new collectors.
Yeah, I would say for new collectors,
young collectors, ask your parents to read it and explain to them. Find if anywhere it says that it's a reprint.
Yep.
It's not a good thing, and you will lose money on something
I would
like
say
that.
if you're a new collector just getting into it, stick with just the stuff that's slabbed and graded.
Right.
That's
Right.
safe. PSA.
Well, wait, this was slabbed and
Well,
graded
it said reprint on it.
on the slab, but in the heading you couldn't see it.
Yeah, so make
So
sure
you gotta look.
You're looking at the actual label that PSA has, and
Correct.
also you can also cross reference the label that PSA has with their app or their website just to verify that it's
They have a verification
Yes.
button that you
And
can type the number in.
It'll tell you everything. Sometimes there's a picture of the card or the item and the autograph, so it's an easy way to kind of get a good feel for what you're purchasing. But do the research, and if you're an established collector, you should know what to look for, but make sure you're digging and looking. If something seems like it's too good to be true, in most cases,
it is.
In most cases. There are the rare exceptions where it's not, and you're just getting a great deal. But you got to really do your homework and make sure that you're doing your research, because it's easy to fall in love with something really quick and then end up dropping several $100 or $1,000 on something that is really not worth anything.
And to Greg's point, that is absolutely true, and it's awfully hard to get your money back. There are safeguards built into eBay and your credit card, which PayPal, which can help you, but it's still, they try to prove that you knew it was a reprint, and now what am I supposed to do because you bought it? It was your mistake. No, it doesn't work like that. You might be dealing with some of our studio audience out there that might be 10, 11, 12 years old. They're not in business. They're trying to collect. They have a little money. they want to invest their money as a young investor,
Yep.
and you have these unscrupulous people that are trying to rip them
Try
off.
to take advantage.
If it happens to you, please write to us, email us, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We will call them out and make sure that you get vindictive. You know, we won't be vindictive, but you'll get satisfaction if we call them out.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, say something. If something isn't right, speak up about it. You know, because you can potentially overturn a purchase that you made on eBay or overturn something on PayPal. Like, there are those safeguards to protect you. So just be smart about that too. Like, if you do make a bad buy, contact the seller. You know, sometimes sometimes they don't know and they're willing to take it back too. You know.
You know, on the fair side, sometimes some of them are really nice. I had a few that said, "No problem, I'll rebate your money. I'll give you. You know, I apologize. I wasn't my intent. Yada yada yada," and they'll do it. So they're not all bad, but
but it's important to speak up.
Yeah, and I think that is the key.
Yeah.
You know, once again, these boxes you see. These are red hot boxes. We have quite a few more that are also red hot. We'll probably bring those on next week to talk about them with our special guest Steve Hart.
What was the box that you bought this week that you're most excited about? Because I know the one I'm most excited about.
Well, it was the one with Mike Trout and
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. Very excited about this. Me and Greg actually found the only 2 boxes on the internet.
Yep.
He got his a little cheaper than mine, and I think if we had a bigger following, I would ask people to vote in that he should refund me the difference that he paid a cheaper box. He beat me to the trigger.
I've been chasing Mike Trout boxes for months.
I came in
I'm so
late.
pumped to get a Bowman Mike Trout box.
Yeah, and that box was right around 400 and
I ended up getting
$50. Mine's at $450.
You got yours at $450. I ended up getting mine at $400. That's a $600, $700, $800 box.
Yeah,
easy.
With Gerrit Cole's new contract, Mike Trout, and the shortness of the box, there is none available. I don't know if there's any showed up today, but you know, look, we're not saying there's no boxes out there because we get the last 2, but they are waiting in the wings for that box to rise, and then when it does, they'll come out with them. We don't know how many, but they will.
You gotta jump in there and scoop it up when you see it. Sometimes you get lucky and you'll find them. I chased playoff contenders quite a bit. I found a 1999 playoff contenders, which isn't like a super expensive box, but it's a hard one to find because there's just not a lot of them.
Yeah.
So when you see it, if there's a box you want to search for it and jump on it when you find it. But for me, especially Mike Trout, I've been trying to get a Mike Trout box forever. So I was really pumped to find a good value price on when to get into that, because his boxes are very expensive. Because as of right now, he's one of the greatest baseball players of all time, and he's just entering his prime. So he's only going to get better.
And to back up what you're saying, it's not always about the rookie card.
Right.
For example, 1970 was Thurman Munson's rookie year. Okay. His rookie card in a Gem Mint 10 and a 1971, his second year card. But on the card, it says Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But it's not his rookie. It's his second year card. That card in a Gem Mint 10 is worth a lot more than the 70. Okay. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. One, the 71 had a black border, which were very hard to have in pristine condition. Mm-hmm. And 2, there you could still find 70 baseball packs, but you can't find 71.
As we've encountered, we found 2 so far in the last 6 months.
And they went for a lot of money.
Way more than they should have.
Way more than they should have. And there hasn't been any since. And I don't think you're going to see any anytime soon. And one of them that went for a lot of money was in horrific condition. Terrible condition. It was not what it said on the label.
Yeah.
And if you wonder why it's not what it said on the label, there's a simple reason. The gum over the years is shifting around and it's poking holes in the paper. And whoever's keeping it is not paying attention. And it's making a rip hole. There was one where the gum was actually sticking out. Yeah. Now the pack was graded an 8.
Yeah, but
it was no way an 8.
It's like if it was a 3
or a 4. Yeah, it was a 3 or a 4.
Yeah,
but they paid for it as if it was an 8.
They paid the 8 value.
Yes, they did.
And that's another reason why it's so important to get your packs graded, because once it's graded, I mean that a lot of people still find the value in
they still
and
find
the other thing too, for the people that are just going to open up the pack anyways,
right?
They don't care.
No,
So
in that case, you have to reverse your thing getting and buy the ones that are in a low grade because they're just grading the pack. They're not grading the cards inside. They can't see them. So you buy, let's just use the example that 71. Well, it's a bad example. The 70 where there's packs out. You might pay, say, $1,000 for one that's in an 8 and $400 for one that's in a 6. The cards are probably the same same condition on the inside of both of those because they're grading the outside of the wrapper. They're not grading the cards. The cards, in fact, in the 6 might even be a 10 versus the other one. You don't know.
You don't know.
So if you're going to buy it to open it, especially in the older packs, look at the pack. If it's just because there's a rip in the pack or something, you want to buy that pack if you're going to open it because it's going to cost you less money and the cards are going to be just as good, if not better, than what's in the high-end packs.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Simple way to go.
Simple as that. So, we are, again, very excited. Next week,
I can't believe it.
We will get Steve on here. And
first John Palmieri, now Steve Hart.
Yes, that's right. We will pick Steve's brain, which I'm sure he has a lot of information. Yeah. That is going to be the Cadillac show, I believe, for 2019.
I think so.
I don't think there's going to be any better show.
They're all great shows.
They are good, but this is one.
That's our holiday gift to the Wax Nation.
It's going to be a special show.
And if you guys have any questions that you want us to ask Steve Hart, feel free to shoot them over to us. We'd be happy.
Sure, that day, if somebody wants to make sure you want to ask questions, please do. Where can they find us?
So thank you for asking, Gerry. So you can find us on Facebook at The Wax Hunters. You can find us on Twitter at The Wax Hunters. You can find us on YouTube at Wax Hunters. And, if you want to listen to our podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all over the place.
Great.
And also check out our website, www.thewaxhunters.com.
Yeah, please share us. Do whatever you have to do. Let's build this up. We really want to get out there and be known. We want to help the collectors really get into it and make some money in the meantime. So
make sure you're hitting like, subscribe, share them with your friends.
All of them. Please do. We can use the help most definitely. We really want this to take off and fly. So on that note, my name is Gerry Marotti, and to my right is my partner, Greg Marangel, and you have a great day. Together we are
the Wax Hunters. Stay waxy.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.